Hello everyone, it's Mana. Today I'm gonna teach you some super useful Japanese conversation phrases for everyday life, especially when you're hanging out with Japanese friends or girlfriend. These are expressions we actually use all the time, so they sound really natural. This is my first video about learning Japanese. By the way, if you're new here, check out my earlier videos too. I've covered some slang and beginner stuff over there. And just a little reminder, I'm not a professional language teacher, so I'm not here to give you textbook rules. What I can teach you are the real life words and phrases we use in daily conversations. So let's get started. Alright, let's start with greetings. If you are meeting Japanese girlfriend or friends in the morning, you can say Ohayo. This is normal and super common. It's like saying good morning. Now sometimes people say oha. This is just a short version of ohayo and it sounds even more casual. The last u in ohayo is usually kind of silent, so it ends up sounding like ohayo or just oha. That's pretty much it for morning greetings. We don't really say anything else. Just ohayo or oha and you're good. Friendly, simple, and very natural. Now, here's something interesting. In the afternoon, we don't usually say konnichiwa, even though that's technically good afternoon in Japanese. Why? Because konnichiwa sounds a bit too formal, especially between friends or people you are close to, like your girlfriend. So instead, when we see someone in the afternoon, we would just do a little gesture, maybe a small wave, a smile, or even just eye contact and a nod. That's it. Okay, if you're a guy, os. Okay, here's a fun extra tip. In casual Japanese, especially among men, you might hear os is kind of like saying yo, sup, alright. It's short, strong, and very casual. Originally, os comes from martial arts culture like karate or kendo. It's a mix of oshi, push, and shinobu, endure. So it carries a feeling of strength, endurance, and respect. In traditional settings like dojos, it's super polite and serious. But in everyday life among guys or friends, os has become a kind of rough casual greeting, saying hi to your bodies, agreeing to something quickly, or showing you're already motivated, or just say okay or got it. You can also use os with your boss or people who are older than you to show respect. Also, os sounds a bit serious, like a real dojo, martial arts training hall situation. So in daily life, we usually say it more casually, like us. The pronunciation is somewhere between o and u. In the evening, you might have learned konbanwa means good evening, and yeah, it does. But again, it sounds a bit formal, so if you're seeing your close friends or girlfriend at night, we usually skip saying konbanwa and do the same thing as in the afternoon. Just wave, raise your hand and smile and start talking. No need for formal greeting, just jump right into the conversation. Like, us. さあ、どっか食べ行こう us. さあ、どっか食べ行こう And one more important thing, in Japanese, we don't say, how are you, how have you been, like genki every time we see your friends. Asking genki is more like when you haven't seen someone in a while, or when you already know something happened to them, like they were sick or busy or going through something. So if you see your girlfriend or close friends regularly, you don't need to ask genki every time. Okay, so let's say you've already greeted your friend or girlfriend and now you want to start talking about something. In English, you might say stuff like, guess what, or you know what. And in Japanese, we have similar phrases and they sound super natural in daily conversations. Here are a few common ones you will hear all the time. ねえねえ, this is like hey hey or hey, guess what? Super casual and cute, perfect when you are excited to tell someone something. あのさ, this one's kind of like so, you know what? Or hey, by the way, we use it a bit a lot when you are about to start talking or bring something up. ちょっと聞いて literally means listen for a sec. It's usually used when you're about to share some juicy or dramatic story like ちょっと聞いて昨日さ listen to this, so yesterday. And here's a quick tip. You can also mix the two phrases ね and 聞いて together. It sounds supernatural and friendly, just like saying ね聞いて Hey, listen. そういえば This is super useful when you want to suddenly change the topic because something just popped into your head. In English, it's kind of like saying, oh, by the way, or speaking of which, for example, そういえば来週のイベント行く?そういえば来週のイベント行く?そういえば来週のイベント行く? It's perfect when you remember something you wanted to talk or you are smoothly switching topics without making it awkward. Now, let's learn some super common words that you will hear all the time when you're talking with Japanese friends, girlfriend or boyfriend. These words are all about expressing your feelings, like when you are having fun, feeling happy, or talking about something interesting. 楽しい means fun or enjoyable. You use it when you are in the middle of having fun. For example, 今日めっちゃ楽しい。今日めっちゃ楽しい。楽しかった past tense of 楽しい meaning it was fun. You use it when you are talking about something that already happened. For example, 昨日のパーティー楽しかったね。昨日のパーティー楽しかったね。面白い means interesting or funny. You can use it when something is entertaining, cool, or makes you laugh. For example, この映画面白いね。この映画面白いね。If you just say 面白い by itself, you are simply saying it's interesting or it's funny. If you add ね or say 面白いね, it feels a little different. It's interesting, right? Isn't it funny? Past tense of 面白い means it was interesting or it was funny. For example, マナのビデオ面白かった。マナのビデオ面白かった。嬉しい means happy or glad. It's about the feeling you get when something good happens for you personally. For example, プレゼントありがとう。嬉しい。プレゼントありがとう。嬉しい。プレゼントありがとう。嬉しい。嬉しかった past tense of 嬉しい means I was happy. For example, マナに会えてめっちゃ嬉しかった。マナに会えてめっちゃ嬉しかった。Japanese slang means super so, really in Japanese とても本当に。いいね means that's good or nice. You can say this when you think something sounds great or when you like an idea. For example, お、新しいバッグいいね。お、新しいバッグいいね。You got the past tense of good. It means I'm glad or it turns out well. Important. When we change eat into past tense, it doesn't simply turn into eater. Actually, e comes from the original word yoi. So that's why instead of saying eater, it completely changed よかった. For example, マナが無事でよかった。マナが無事でよかった。マナが無事でよかった。Quick tip. 楽しいand 嬉しい are more about your feelings. 面白い is more about something being funny or interesting, not exactly about your feeling. いいね and よかった kind of reaction words when you hear good news or something positive. Have you enjoyed learning some Japanese today? These phrases are simple, but we use them every single day in real life. They are easy and a great way to start conversation naturally. I hope this helps you get even more interested in Japan and our culture. Thank you so much for watching my video. Until then, I would be happy if you hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video. Bye!